Hi, I'm DJ Ralph Mcdaniels, and welcome to New York's #1 video show, Video Music Box, the box that rocks. Whoa.
It's Power 105.1, home of the Breakfast Club. Angie Martinez, not hip hop and R&B. It's your main man, EmEz, and it is the Sunday Sit Down. And across from me, is the reason a lot of you do the things you do. He's behind that. It's the legend across from me, Ralph Mcdaniels, Uncle Ralph.
Yes, sir.
How's everything, man?
I'm easy. I'm glad to be here. It's a Sunday. It feels good.
Oh man, thank you for coming first and foremost.
No doubt.
Should we get right into it, or what's up?
Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm a Giant fan. Let's be clear.
Yes. Giants are playing.
There's a lot of cats moving around the studio. That's other types of fans. I don't know where they from though.
Let's talk about it, Ralph. You know what I'm saying? It's New York City. You can't be a Patriots fan.
This cat Amadeus. I don't know what he's talking about out here.
Okay, Ralph Mcdaniels. Talk to me about the creation of Video Music Box, because at the time it was unprecedented.
Yeah, Video Music Box was something I did straight out of college, man. You know, I went and started this TV show every day after school, 3:30 to 4:30. You know, not only did we play hip hop, because back then it was like maybe like 10 hip hop videos, believe it or not. There was no YouTube, there was no internet, there was nothing. It was just, you came on TV for an hour, and if you caught it, you caught it. If you missed it, you missed it.
Listen, I come from that kind of era where on the all you had was the radio. And if you missed it on that tape deck, you had to wait at least 2-3 hours before that song came on again. Now, I watched the documentary on the Video Music Box, and they told me, I watched how they say the shout-out occur.
Yeah.
You're the reason
Yeah.
that the shout-out is even existed.
Exactly.
Talk about that.
Well, the shout-out, you know, anytime you say the word shout-out, look, shout-out was a term that was kind of, you know, moving around the hip-hop community. I put it on the radio when we started saying, you know, we want to do a shout-out. You want on TV, you want to do a shout-out. So everybody was like, yo, I want to do a shout-out. So every club we went to, everywhere we went, from artists to regular people, from Jay-Z to Homeboy from Bed-Stuy, they wanted to do a shout-out. And I was like, this is crazy right now. They didn't care about me. They just wanted to do a shout out. Yeah, you know.
Crazy.
And now the president says shout out. I mean, I hear people say the word shout out on a regular in that way. So I know we the ones that started it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, you've seen hip hop evolve.
Yes.
What do you think? What would you say in your mind is the biggest change in hip hop?
Getting away from the culture. The culture of hip hop is, you know, b-boying, MCing, DJing, aerosol art, graffiti, whatever you want to call it, and knowledge. And I think that we just took, well, the industry just took the rap part of it, and they just ran with the rap part of it. You know, you might see on Dancing with the Stars some of the dancing parts of it now, but, you know, we forgot about the culture of what it's all about. You know, like rapping is something that we do, hip-hop is something that we live. And that part of it is what people forgot about, to me.
Gotcha.
So, you know, we're trying to get back to that, and, you know, there's a bunch of institutions out there. You know, I just got on as the hip-hop ambassador to the Queens Public Library, so they never had anything like that before. So now when you go to the library, back in the days, you used to go to the library to go hang out, you know, check for girls, you know, he wasn't taking out no books.
No.
But now, they still do the same things, but while they're there, you know, we're going to have, you know, a little section on Big. We might have a Power 105 section where people like yourself can suggest something that you might have read.
Okay.
And you can put it in that section right there. You know, I think that's kind of dope because, you know, young people are listening to you on the radio, so they might not know who Ralph Mcdaniels is, but they know who you are, and they might take that suggestion and come hang out. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about what you're doing now. I mean, I did a lot of the history. What's up with Ralph Mcdaniels? Uncle Ralph, what's he up to now?
I'm still doing Video Music Box. Comes on Saturday nights at 12 midnight on NYC TV here in New York City. You can follow me on, you know, at Video Music Box on Instagram, on Twitter. You can find out the times and whatever. We just finished up, almost finished up, this movie called Rules and Regulations with my man G-Ton. He's in the studio with us now, and we wanted to do the street thing before, you know. Money and Violence came out, we had already started working on this film, you know. And then when that came out, that even validated where our head was at with it, you know. So big up to those guys for doing what they do, and you know, and continuing to move on to the next one. So we got something like that on the way. Yeah.
And what's it called again?
Rules and Regulations.
Rules and Regulations. We will keep a lookout. Now, you said WNYC, no?
Yeah, and WNYC TV.
Isn't that where you interned?
Yeah, that's where we started. It's funny because they sold the station in the mid '90s, and it came back around, and I'm back there again. It's almost like I never left.
That's hot.
Yeah.
Now, I'm reading here that are you the producer of Juice or a producer of Juice?
I was one of the producers. I was associate producer on Juice. They brought me on as a consultant originally.
Okay.
To work with Ernest Dickerson. Ernest Dickerson was the director. He was also a cameraman. That was his first directorial debut, Juice.
Gotcha.
Before that, he was Spike Lee's cameraman.
Mm-hmm.
All the dope stuff that Spike shot, he did that. So they needed somebody to kind of help him out. And, you know, I was heavy in the streets. I've directed over 400 videos, music videos and stuff.
You have personally?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so, you know, they were like, yo, you know, you want to get involved? I said, well, give me a title, you know. So they said, okay, you're associate producer.
Gotcha.
So I worked on the job, you know, worked with Tupac first, because Pac didn't know a lot of people out here in New York. He didn't know who I was from my show. Got Queen Latifah in it. Got the Bomb Squad back in the days, the dudes who produced Public Enemy, to do the soundtrack. Got Tretch involved in it. All these different hip hop celebrities that you see in it. Omar Epps used to sing for me. He wanted
used
to
sing for you?
Yeah.
Omar Epps.
He had a group.
Am I lost? Am I the only person that didn't know Omar Epps was a singer, or is this common knowledge?
Nah, it's not common knowledge because they put out one song that maybe made it somewhere.
Interns, find me this clip. Omar Epps is singing. I need that.
He's a singer. He used to sing for me in the basement. Saying, "Oh, Ralph, please, I want to be on the soundtrack of the movie."
That's crazy.
Yo, and I'm like, why not? You know, but he never made it. But
so he wasn't that good.
Well, I wasn't in charge of soundtrack. I'm gonna stay out of politics.
Gotcha. Uncle Ralph McDaniels in the building. It's Jermaine Man, EmEz Power 1051. The Sunday Sit Down. You've seen you've helped cultivate a lot of people's careers and catapult them to certain areas and arenas with the video music box, and you on the radio. Where do you see hip hop in the next 5-10 years?
Oh, it's going to continue to evolve, man. You got a lot of, incredible groups out there now. I mean, one of my favorites is probably J. Cole as an artist.
I just said that today. I told you J. Cole is my favorite artist right now.
Yeah.
Absolutely, hands down.
And he's doing it at his own pace. You know, I like the way he's moving. You know, it's not a whole bunch of other things going on. He fits in, the right situations.
Yeah.
He's on a Janet Jackson record. I mean, that's big, to me. And so, there's other artists that are out there that are, moving along. Future's doing his thing and Drake is doing his thing. And those are the ones that we hear of all the time. But I think there's a bunch of other artists that you can probably find online and people are fans of that, that are out there doing their thing. And young people are starting to look back now to hear some of the older stuff. They want to hear, well, what did Das Effects make? Let me go look up their catalog. Or what did, let me listen to some of the other songs that DMX made that I don't know about, you know. So I always talk about bridging the gap. I've been talking about that since my 30th anniversary of doing this thing. Let's try to bridge the gap and don't force, old school music on a young person and don't force the new school on the old people because, they don't know that. They don't live that lifestyle. We lived a certain lifestyle. Young people live a certain lifestyle today. So we can't force it. But if we can find a bridge and somehow connect it, it's kind of dope.
Okay, next question. Why do you think, for someone that's done radio and been in the industry as long as you've had, why do you think hip-hop hasn't cultivated an old-school radio station? Because if you look at these rock bands, they touring and making bread till they're in their late 70s, but as soon as you turn 35, 40 in hip-hop, you're done out here.
Yeah, I think that there should be a place where you can play old school and you can play certain new things that fit. I don't necessarily want to hear old school all day, me personally. Okay.
Gotcha.
I'm a little bit progressive in maybe my ways of thinking and everything. We didn't listen when we were growing up in listening to hip hop in '80s, and radio stations didn't just play hip hop records. They played R&B records, and the early hip hop records had kind of like a R&B track to it. They were like if you listen to The Message or you listen to anything by Sugar Hill, that was on Sugar Hill. Those were R&B records replayed and somebody rapping on them. So there always was a kind of smoothness there and some kind of connection between R&B, different genres of music. So I think that should continue to happen. You can't just, I don't know, for me, I just can't listen to, the same, 20 or 40, whatever it is, old school hip hop records all day. I can't. Me. I want to hear, something in between there. Like, this girl Vivian Green, she sampled, what's the guy's name? Before I Let Go. She sampled that, right? Which was brilliant. That can fit into an old school, mix right there. Okay, that can fit in there because we know that sound. We know that.
Like this kid Tory Lanez is remixing the Say It record.
Brownstone, right. It's perfect. Perfect examples of those records mixed in with some, some 80s and some 90s stuff, and somebody who knows how to program these tunes, and I think that could work. And I don't know why it's not happening, but whoever does it is going to make a lot of money because people are waiting for it and they would like to listen to it.
Saying I could use another hat to put on.
There it is.
I'm just saying it. Uncle Ralph McDaniels in the building. It's a Sunday sit down. Now you've watched hip hop beefs go from 0 to 60 to real life to just on wax. Where would you rate the Drake and Meek Mill situation?
I'll be honest with you. I was disappointed in Meek Mill's.
You and a lot of people.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I was disappointed, but I realized, and my man G, he said, he just really yells loud. He's not really, it's not really going nowhere, And he said he ain't gonna be able to do nothing with Drake, and I was like, nah, you crazy, man. He gonna destroy that kid, and that's what happened. It was just a high pitch, a lot of noise, and it didn't go nowhere. So the nerds win again. Big up the nerds.
Man.
I'm a nerd too, so it's all good.
Absolutely. It's your main man, EmEz, Power 105 the Sunday Sit Down. So what do you plan on working on besides,
movie?
The movie?
Yeah, we got the movie. We're gonna continue to keep doing these street movies. This year I was involved with, I'm really a documentary dude. So I worked on the Time Is Illmatic with
the Nas thing.
Documentary. Yeah. A lot of the footage that you see in that is mine.
Okay.
'Cause I directed Nas's first video. It Ain't Hard to Tell. So I worked with him closely. Went to his crib. Knew the family and everybody.
What did you go to school for?
Film and TV.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to Old Westbury in Long Island, New York Tech. I went to, and I was like, I don't know, we're gonna do something with it, and we created Video Music Box. So that's where it's at.
I could sit here and talk to Uncle Ralph McDaniels for ages. I remember listening to you on the radio. I remember watching you on TV. I'm like, yo, this guy has the greatest job ever.
And I came right out of school and got a job doing it, which most people that went to school with me didn't do that.
Nah.
They didn't do that. So that's the cool part about it, and and just continuing to document. Out there, I was involved with this thing called Fresh Dressed, which was on CNN recently. We have another one that was dealing with the O.J. Simpson 20th anniversary of that. So I got a bunch of documentaries that I'm involved with, working with BET, CNN. When you watch that show on with the old school cats, whatever happened to them on TV One. Unsung.
Yes,
that's a lot of my footage in the.
I had Al B. Short here a little while ago.
Right, Al. Okay. Yeah, good dude. I know him from day one. Probably did some of the first interviews with him. Played night and day back in the days. That whole story, I was there with him, and hanging out with him and Mike Tyson was there.
Damn, we can do this all day. I can pick this man's brain all day long. It's like, oh man, Uncle Ralph McDaniels, it's your main man EmEz, the Sunday Sit Down. So who's in your iPod? Who you listening to these days?
Who am I listening to? I'm a big Major Lazer fan. I don't know if you know
really?
who Major Lazer is. Yeah.
Beyonce has them on the record, right?
Beyonce has them on the record. They have a kind of like EDM kind of reggae vibe and stuff like that, dubstep or whatever you want to call it. I'm heavy into that. A lot of reggae stuff. Kendrick, J. Cole. I listen to Drake on the hardcore side. I'm happy that Uncle Murder has a hit record right now.
I just talked to Uncle Murder a little while ago. Yeah. I'm hoping he wins, man.
Yeah.
Hoping he wins.
I think that everybody feels that way about it because he's continued to be on his job.
For a while.
Yeah, and he's been consistent and he's hanging in there. And, you know, I'm like, wow, he got a hit record.
He got one. Shouts to Murder for real, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Brooklyn.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Uncle. Call him Uncle like that's my uncle for real.
It's all right. It's
Ralph,
all right.
thank you for coming through, man.
It's
I
all right.
appreciate you. It's been a pleasure just to sit and have the chance to just ask you the questions about just back in the day and just cultivating the culture that I'm able to make a living off today, man. It's amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man.
Being an OG, it feels like I need a couple pictures, okay? We need the monument. This one. Uncle Ralph Mcdaniels, the Sunday Sit Down, Power 105 on your main man, EmEz. Thank you again, man.
Salute.
Absolutely.
Another example of how easy does it.